During the last 7 years of my journey, going from completely broke to a man that gets to live his life on his own terms, the secret to success is not really a secret. As in, there's no recipe for it. You have three options to choose from. Access to the right people, best opportunities, best knowledge.
Here's the thing. I wasn't going to make this video, but Iman Gadzhi tricked you with his new Educate course, and I spent the last 7 hours and $1,500 to buy his course to go through all the content so you don't have to, and then also just help you make the decision if you want to move forward with it or not. So I want to break this video down in 3 main parts. Number 1 is we're going to cover the platform and the branding overall of Educate. Number 2, we're going to cover the actual content itself, and then number 3, we'll talk about the community aspect. Now let's start off with number 1, which is my favorite, which is the platform. Now, I don't know if you've heard this analogy of putting lipstick on a pig, but basically what it means is when you put something on the outside to make something that's ugly on the inside way more appealing when you're looking at it. The thing is, Iman went all out on the platform aspect and the marketing. I'd be lying if I didn't admit that he was a genius marketer. I mean, he made an application for it, he made his own site, he made a companion app, and just overall made it look really, really good. On top of that, the videos in the course material, they're all like full-on productions with multiple camera angles, music, cinematic shots, the whole 9. If I had to score on the marketing itself, I mean, easily an 11 out of 10. I mean, Iman, if you're seeing this, I would say ditch all this course stuff, make a course around how you make your YouTube videos, production, all that kind of stuff, sell it to high-tech business owners, bro, you will make a killing, but that's just me. Now let's move over to my not so favorite part, which is the content. And I'm gonna share my screen here in a second and go through all this, but remember what I talked about earlier about the pig? Well, the content is textbook example of that. Just to keep in mind, the primary focus of this video is gonna be around the 6-figure sales rep portion because that's what I know best. Interestingly enough, after doing some research for this video, the name Paul Daley continued to sound familiar. And if you don't know who that is, he's the CEO, I believe, of the Educate platform. He's also the main coach in the 6-figure sales rep portion, but he was actually an old client of our company's sales team accelerator. And there was a point where we were helping him build out his sales team for his social media marketing agency business, but he quit his agency to work with Iman. And when I was doing research for this video, I found the exact same thing to be true for one of the coaches within the platform, who was also a client for our company, Sales Team Accelerator. He had an agency for real estate agents, also ditched that to work with Iman. Now, to be clear though, this isn't like a gotcha moment or anything like that, because I myself also quit my agency for real estate agents to just focus on high ticket sales with my business partner, Cole. But I really just say that to further solidify that the way of the agency and the SMMA and all the stresses that come with it just isn't for everyone. So let's go and jump into the 6-figure sales rep content here. I'm just gonna be straight up, this is really bad. Like, if you're watching this, I'm aware of the fact that you're here watching to get exactly what to expect when you're gonna buy this course. And obviously I wanna be transparent in the fact that we at the Remote Closing Academy also have a program where we teach others how to become a remote closer. But I want to be very, very clear. I don't care if you buy this from me at all. That's not the point of this video. This video isn't made to say this guy's stuff is bad and mine is better, but I honestly take the creation of this as an insult. I was talking to my team a little bit earlier and they said, oh, don't go too hard or, that'll look bad. But I really do think that Iman abused his audience to get away with putting out a really mediocre product. So let's just dive into the content and talk about just really 3 main reasons why I don't think this is very good. So let's jump into the dashboard here. So we have all the course material that's here. We have the 3 that were advertised, and then also a ton that are like coming soon, which I'm pretty sure when you invest initially, you should get access to all these, especially if it's at $1,000 or $1,500 that I paid, and then you get charged again 6 months later, which reminds me, I need to cancel before it gets charged again. And this is the John guy I was talking about earlier. I looked at his face and I was like, wait, he's asked questions and I've talked to this guy at our events. So I was like, put 2 and 2 together and I was like, oh, cool, good for him. He's working here now. All that aside, let's jump into the content here. So to give you an idea, there are, I believe, 6 phases, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 phases of the 6-figure sales rep course material. If you look through these, they're set up very similarly. I mean, you have the cinematic shots, you have 2 camera angles, you have all this stuff, you have the B-roll assigning the name and everything. But when you really go through and look through the content, it's made specifically to get in front of a very young, impressionable audience, someone that is getting actual value out of content. I wouldn't say that they're not going to spend the time making it looking good, but the thing is this is the lipstick on the pig. The content, when you're going through it, gives you very, very, very high level stuff, right? It doesn't go too deep into the actual intricacies of how to become a closer. Now, granted, this is the introduction video. But going through, if we look at, the Honourable Close, right? Again, the 6 courses the 6 modules are still put out here. This is 4 videos that goes over like what is high ticket sales. So it doesn't even really go into depth of like how to even take action. So this is kind of a wash. Again, high level content that doesn't really give you much to implement. Now, this next module, which is the sales ecosystem, goes more in depth around, okay, this is what sales is. Here's how you can use different sales methodologies and things like that. But out of the entire process, and this is the part that really just grinds my gears, there's not a single moment in this course, program, whatever you want to call it, where he goes over a sales script. There's not a single portion. I spent, again, the last 7 hours scrubbing through all this content. There's not a single moment where there's a script that is shown, a word-for-word script, a methodology. It's just like pretty graphs and all these things, but it doesn't give you the full aspect of how to actually have these sales calls. Sales is such a do over and over and over and over again process of a proven system. Imagine if you went to a math class and they're just like, here's how to do math, and they just talk to you about it. They didn't have a whiteboard, they didn't have a textbook. You'd be confused. And I can just scroll through these videos, and this should be the module where they go deep into, here are the scripts, here's the methodology, here's exactly how to do this. Watch my screen so you can look at all these things. But when I scroll through all these videos, it's literally just this dude with this really nice background talking at you for hours. When you scroll through this stuff, there's literally nothing that you can take value out of other than like if someone was just talking to you for hours on end. And the thing is, though, is again, he's doing it with a really high quality camera. He's doing it with a nice background so that he's enticing you into this and saying, you can live this lifestyle. Here's what you could be doing, but at the same time, not really showing you anything. And the part that just really got me was this video here called The Modern Day Suit. And basically what he talks about is you need to go out and invest in a bunch of fancy equipment like a mic and a camera and everything to make yourself look good, because you're going to be perceived better by the prospect and the person that you're talking to. Yes, that is correct. But what is that? He's literally teaching you how to put lipstick on a pig. You can have the best setup in the world. You can have the best lighting. You can have really great audio quality. But if you don't have scripts to use on these prospects, you're not going to get anywhere with it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting a little more heated on this video than I was expecting to be. But again, when I look at this as so many young people and so many people from Iman's audience watch his videos, I'm sure there's thousands of people in this program at this point. The thing is these younger people, or heck, there might be older people, they're going to fall into this program. They're going to put a negative connotation on sales, because if this is sales, I'm not going to see success with it. And then guess what? They write off the entire industry when it doesn't work for them because they aren't given the tools to see success. Okay, so I was just watching this content again, and I had a little bit of hope because the next module went a little bit more into the sales stuff. But again, it's like 5 or 6 videos. I scrubbed through just hoping and praying that there was going to be a sales script, but still no sales script. Just this guy drinking his water from a wine glass and talking to you for 45 minutes of how to get better at sales. Now there's 2 other modules in here, overcoming resistance, which basically is handling objections, but having a couple 15 minutes around handling objections, which is quite easily the most difficult part about sales. I mean, anyone can go through a script. I mean, he didn't really give you one, so you can't really do that in the first place. But the objection handling part is the most advanced portion that you need to get good at, and to have 3 videos on objection handling is just honestly kind of crazy. And then advanced, I won't even go into this stuff. It says advanced, but it's not really that advanced. Now, the icing on the cake is there's nothing in this course other than a 3-minute section in a video that talks about how to find clients to work with. They tell you, hey, you can reach out to some Facebook groups, which they don't give you what Facebook groups. And they say you can reach out to these companies, but they don't give you messaging. And they say you can get interviews with them, but they don't teach you how to interview. So at the end of the day, even if you miraculously somehow learn what they're calling sales within this program, who are you going to reach out to? How are you going to get paid? You're a commission-based salesperson, and you got to find a gig, but they don't teach you how to do that. So there's just so many missing parts within this program. And obviously you can tell that I'm heated from it because, again, I just take this as a personal attack for us and the thousands of people that we've helped in this industry. So let's just jump into the last section of this video before I talk for another 15 minutes. So the only thing I want to say with this is, and just give some credit to Iman, it definitely has potential in terms of the community. The reason I say that is because there is a lot of people that have joined. The problem that I see though is there's a lot of people in there with very little support from those coaches. There is multiple coaches, but guess what? If you have 5,000 students and you have 4 coaches, do the math. That's basically 900 students per one person. So there's a very, very small chance that you're going to get the support that you need from a coach that's going to lead you the right way. Now, you can definitely make the argument that there are thousands of other people and there's community. We can all hold each other accountable. But what happens when you have 1,000 people and 1,000 people and another 1,000 people all brand new at these skills and they don't know really how to implement because there isn't the best content to move them in the right direction? Well, that just leads us to a blind leading the blind situation, which just ultimately just brings me to the end here, which is how did he trick you? Back to the title of this video. Well, the trick is just launching this course in the first place. He tricked thousands of young people by putting something out there, something that he honestly half-assed. I do think he had great intention with launching with it. Don't get me wrong, but he put way more effort into the marketing of it and getting people through, but fell very, very short in the actual implementation and making sure that people are seeing results and are getting the best program possible. So with all that being said, if you want to check out a video that doesn't fall short, or let's say you already invested in Educate and you didn't learn anything from it, I'm going to put a video on screen that goes over the exact step-by-step process of how to get started with remote closing, how to become a remote closer or appointment setter, and just really how to see success in this industry, all for completely free. Or you can check out another free masterclass we have down in the description. Check that out and we'll see you on the inside.